Alright YouTubers, what is happening? Doing a quick video today, kind of an unboxing first impressions of this Medford knife in front of you. I've never thought I would have a Medford knife on my table before, but Blade HQ sent this out to our pass-around group, and there's two of these knives floating around right now. So let's kind of go over the basic packaging here. You get quite a bit of stuff. This Blade HQ threw that in, which is cool. You have the Medford instructions and warranty information, some stickers. Medford knife and tool, very cool business card from Greg Medford, 100% American made. So this is the production Praetorian, and this is a beast of a knife. Nice pouch, nice dog tab, and you get lots of cool stuff with this for sure. So basically, I won't go too much into this because others have on the pass around, but basically, do not take apart the knife. That will avoid the warranty, and don't try to lube it. Don't try to do anything to it, really. It's kind of interesting, but that's a whole other subject. So let's look at the knife itself, because surprisingly, I mean, this knife is huge and way bigger than I would normally. This is not my style of knife, but I've actually been pretty impressed with it, honestly. Let's go over the basic specs here, taking off the Blade HQ website. Blade HQ is, I'll put a link in the description where you can purchase these. You have an overall length of 8.75 with a blade of 3.75. Your blade thickness is 0.19 on the blade stock, so it's very thick. D2, CPM D2. There is a difference between those two, between regular D2 and CPM D2. It has a Tanto blade with a hollow grind, stone wash finish with a handle length about 5 inches. The thickness is 0.62. It's pretty thick in the hand. Weight is 7.5 ounces. It's definitely a beast, but like surprisingly not too big. I mean, in the handle anyway. So let's talk about that. Okay, so my first impressions are this thing is gigantically huge. It's got such thick blade stock. The jimping's crazy. Is it going to cut anything? And surprisingly, it does. It actually cuts pretty well, and it was surprisingly thin behind the edge. Let's do another measurement. Yeah, I'm getting 0.022. 0.022. That's pretty thin, guys. Let's do that again, just to make sure. The hollow grind's going to help with that. Yeah, 0.022 behind the edge there. And on the Tanto, we're looking 0.029. It's a little thicker up there on the tip. That's not bad. I mean, I have had many other knives that are not even this robust and big have be much thicker behind the edge, so I was pretty surprised. It definitely came very sharp as well. I was cutting through paper and stuff. For some reason, all my paper that I usually have here for testing and stuff is MIA. I must have thrown a bunch of it away, but it does cut well for its size and how thick the blade stock is. I mean, it's pretty thinly ground, so that does make a big difference. I mean, I only have like these scraps everywhere, but it was pretty sharp. Went through a bunch of cardboard without any issues. I mean, it did surprisingly well, so it cuts. That's a good thing, because that's what knives are supposed to do, right? Let's do some size comparisons real quick. Some of the ZT0095, similar in size. And as far as the handle, that's about it. Quite a bit thinner, shorter blade, and the Pina X series as another and a more common knife, the Ferrum Forge Crux Master Drop Ferrum Forge. So it's just dwarfs both of those knives. Just a monster. So you've got a G10 slab here, nice and thick. No liner on this side, nothing. This side you have a beefy titanium liner lock, very, very thick. Does have some lock stick, but it's actually broken in pretty nicely. The fuller here is essentially your method of opening with your thumb. It's not, I find it difficult to disengage the lock with my thumb here. It's kind of a bear, but you can do it. I can't like middle finger flick it. I think you can use this to get it out, but I think it's more designed to just open like that. So it's just such a beast of a knife. Look at that sucker. The handle is actually well done, though. It's very comfortable. It's got good ergonomics in the hand. This jimping is a little out of control. Guessing that you would, maybe design as someone that's wearing gloves. It doesn't like it's not terribly sharp though. It's like huge, but it doesn't like cut my thumb up or anything, so that's kind of a nice thing. And because it's not a flipper, you're not going to rake your thumb against that, kind of like the ADV, Andre de Villiers or whatever his name is, butcher knives. They have some super aggressive jimping here. So this is aggressive, but it doesn't like hurt your fingers or anything crazy like that. So, but it's definitely, I would think, designed to be used with someone wearing gloves is kind of more what I think. The stick, there is quite a bit of stick on the titanium, but I'll tell you, it locks up like super solid, and it's not going anywhere. I mean, this is definitely a hard use knife built to be used hard, no doubt about it. The price point on these is $390. Now that's quite a bit cheaper than your typical custom Praetorian, and the biggest, really the only real difference between these is, I mean, some of those come with different blade styles, and they're titanium frame locks a lot of the time, I think. There's definitely some frame lock ones, but they this is machine ground versus being hand ground. That's kind of one of the main differences, which isn't bad. So if you like the Praetorian, don't want to fork over the money for a custom, you can get one of these production Praetorians, and they're really well built. They're made in the USA. CPM D2 steel on those. I mean, just a beast. Now, let's see how. I'm curious to see how this is going to be. This is going to be kind of funny. Let's try our pocket test here. Look how wide that sucker is. And the pocket clip actually works really well. That was kind of surprising. It looks like it's not going to go on well. It works great. So, yeah, that much of your knife sticking up, and that much your pocket. This is where the problem is. That's the end of the edge of the pocket. That's where the knife is. So it takes up that huge amount. So definitely a pocket hog. I mean, what is the measurement across? Your widest point is going to be 2 inches. A little over 2 inches, 2.1 inches. So you're a little over 2 inches wide in the pocket. So it's a beefy, you know. But I mean, that's how this knife is designed, right? It's the intent of the knife to be this way. So not taking anything away from it. But you know, my impressions are like, this is definitely not a knife I would ever buy. Okay, it's cool to be able to handle it thanks to blades here for sending this around with the pass rounds. Definitely not one I would purchase, and I don't see any kind of practical use for it. But I have a buddy that would absolutely love this knife. He loves this type of knife. He is all about these big, overbuilt, tactical style folders. Just has some huge knives. And for me, I'm more, you know, into medium to smaller size knives. But it does cut surprisingly well. It does have a pretty thin grind, which is nice. It did come very, very sharp. The quality is really good. I mean, the build quality is solid. Now, there is some stick on the titanium on the lock, so that is the one, I don't know, but, you know, I guess these are supposed to break in over time, which makes sense. But it's not terrible either. It doesn't, like, get completely stuck, but it's definitely noticeable that there's some stick there. The action's pretty smooth. It's not going to see, that's one thing. It is a bear to unlock that. It's just a bear. I don't know if that's to the stick or just because of the thickness of the liner. It's never going to be like a false shut action, but it's not bad. I mean, the blade's heavy enough that you can get it to. I find the best way to unlock it is to kind of do that and get your hand out of the way. Doing it the traditional way, using your thumb, not going to happen. I mean, you can. I got it that time, but see, but it's pretty difficult. So overall, guys, I mean, it's kind of an iconic knife. You know, it's the Medford Praetorian is kind of like the Hinder XM18 and the Chris Reeve Sabenza. It's one of those, like, I mean, I don't want to say it's like those as far as those knives are concerned, but as far as being a kind of an iconic knife in the knife industry, it definitely is. There's no doubt about it. And Greg Medford is definitely one of those makers that is definitely over the top, and he may or may not be for you. So, but you can't deny that he makes a good quality knife. You really can't, because this is solid. So I'm actually pretty impressed. I didn't think I was going to be. I was almost didn't even do the pass around for this knife. But I'm glad I did, because it was cool to check it out, cool to be able to, you know, experience a Praetorian. So, thanks for watching, guys. I think that's going to wrap up the video. Any questions or comments, leave them down below, and we will see you on the next one.